And by what right, cursed one, did you send my kind to that place of evil?
By what right did you lay on us the curse that drove us from the light and made us predators of humankind?
It was justice for our banishment from the world. You see what it has made of our once fair race.
I see you have taken your true form at last.
Watch this. This is the cheesiest slow motion in video game history.
Then go and see what it makes of you.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the final video of Blood Omen 2. The actual final video, because I want to play Defiance, and so we have to finish this game. So we're about halfway through the Hilden City here. I think we have to... Let's see, how can we... I think they're gonna raise the water as soon as we step over there, so I wonder how we're supposed to pass that one. We can't mind control them, so... Oh, we can just jump. Nice. Hopefully we don't get our ass kicked here by this guy. God damn it. Dan, did you see how much damage that swipe did? Come on. Really? Just like that? Yeah, these guys are tough. Oh, I thought it was glitching out for a moment. Maybe I left it too long in standby mode. Alright, now we got it. Too bad we can't throw him off. God damn. Finally. Yeah, two of them at a time is not good. It's very difficult to block both of them at once. Especially with how weak we are without the weapons. If we had a knife or axe or something, it'll be easier, but since we only have our claws, it's much more difficult to block. Yeah, I've noticed that for some reason it's much more difficult to block enemies if you don't have a weapon equipped. I don't know why. Because Kain has those gauntlets on his arms. I was about to say bracelets, but they're really gauntlets. He has those gauntlets, so that should be enough, but apparently not. Apparently it works much better if you have an actual weapon equipped. So yeah, if it weren't for the fact that we need that trophy, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd have picked up the double-bladed staff or a sword or something, an axe. But yeah, since we need the trophies, I don't have to play this game again. That's why we're doing it this way. But I do not recommend. I fully recommend that you instead you take your time to do the first two chapters without a weapon manually and get the trophy there so that you don't have to deal with this mess later on. Because it does become very difficult to block them without a weapon. You need something. Even if it's just a knife or a dagger or something, anything, but you need something to block them with. Alright, more human slaves. What the hell is this room? Is it like some type of sacrifice room? For making meat? That guy doesn't look well. Oh, can we jump up there? We can. I was afraid he'd fall in the water. Oh, spider. Surprise attack from a spider. It's a surprise spooter. How dare you attack a fellow arachnid? Don't you see the armor Kain is wearing? Yeah, no need to waste an immolate on that guy. Doesn't have much blood, unfortunately. So this is tricky. I got confused at first how we were supposed to do this with the water. When I first played this many years ago, you have to jump over there and then carefully jump down over to I don't think it's where the demon is. I think you have to find your way over to that lever over there. Because remember, you cannot kill him. He is immune to all your attacks. Even immolate doesn't work, so you pretty much just have to avoid him. You cannot kill that guy or any of the others like him. Okay, so we jump over there. Is there anything else we need to know? This camera is wonky as hell. I don't think we can push him into the water either. Oh, it's already standing on it basically, so there's no way to affect him. Unless we lower the bridge, maybe? Okay, how many of them are there? Are there two or just one guy? Oh, there's multiple ones. So we gotta ambush one of them while they're doing their cloning experiments. Here you go. Enjoy. Instant death. Alright, he's dead. We should be able to throw them into the water. Yeah, so it looks like they're breeding slaves here. Like they're literally breeding them here instead of recruiting them from the cities. I guess they have the human's DNA. Yeah, the Helden were pretty advanced. It's just a shame they went down this path, right? Could have been so much more. Now they just turn into monsters. You should be thanking me, my guy. I just saved your ass from these aliens. They're not really aliens, but since they've been away from Nosgoth for thousands of years, they might as well be at this point. It's like the X-Files aliens, those creatures, the Greys. Like, people have the biggest misconception that they were always aliens Because that's what people think the X-Files is about, you know, aliens. And no, they're not actually aliens at all. They're from Earth. They just departed Earth during the Ice Age and just pretty much went over to explore the universe and pretty much conquered everything in their path. So they just they were Earth's worst export to the universe by far. They just fucked up. They just fucked everything over for everyone else. But yeah, the Greys themselves are not aliens. They are literally from Earth. They're as human as an apple pie. They just look funny compared to humans. That's pretty much it. But they are not aliens at all. And the Hilden obviously aren't aliens at all. But they've just been away from Nosgoth for thousands of years. At this point, they might as well be. You know, they completely diverged from the evolutionary path that humans and the vampires followed. Is he coming? Where the hell is he? Where'd that monster? Oh, there he is, right there, right over there. Okay, so we opened up the path. Can we go over here, or do we have to jump over there? Let's see. Like, can we land on that? Well, I guess there's a spider over there, so I guess we can land. Maybe. Can we actually land over here? But which is the right direction though? Is it this one, or I guess we better check out the door before we go over here. Just in case there's something over here that we need to get. Because I don't remember which is the right path. Is it where the spider's at, or is it over here? I think it might actually be over here. So, let's go check over what that spider's doing. See, maybe there's some lore over there. I see a spider, I don't see anything else. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a lure over oh, it's a weapon box, never mind. I guess we can just use it to grab some more health from the spider. Yeah, but we can't touch that, or it's game over for the trophy, so. Come here, spider. We need your blood. Damn. He knows how to jump back and dodge. I thought he was dead for a moment, just from that one attack. Come on. Breeze the third time, let's go. Yeah, the third time is the charm. Let's get that extra blood. Okay, so that's basically if you have need of a weapon repair, you go over here and get that box, but we can't touch that obviously for trophy reasons, so it is useless to us. How do we get back though? Yeah, how the hell did we get back? We just jump over there, I guess? Or do we make the jump from over here? Damn, that spider scared the hell out of me. I didn't know he was there. Come on, Spooter. Where are you? So I wonder if the spiders are unnaturally healed in creation, or if it's just the byproduct of all their glyph energy they're using. Like, were they always here, or are they created by the Hilden? Is it a direct experiment, or is it just the byproducts of the glyph energy? This might get ugly if we jump over there, so we're just gonna save just in case, because it could get ugly if we miscalculate that jump. It doesn't look that far, but who knows? Oh yeah, hell. Damn, look at that, instant death. That did not happen. That was strictly a hallucination Kay was having from all the contaminating glyph energy. He did not die in that puddle right there. Oh, we have to fight these buffoons again, really? That is some bullshit right there. You know, I'm just gonna try to burn them quickly. Oh, that sucks. We have to fight these two assholes again. Come on. And he won't grab the frickin' ledge. Come on, Kain. Why won't he grab the ledge? What the hell? What in the frickin' hell? He won't grab the ledge. Well, I guess we're supposed to go over here. You know what? Let's just ambush him. So yeah, so we cannot go over to that spider because then you can't come back, pretty much. Which is stupid design. Like, I don't know how they would actually think that would work. You need a way back. Alright, enough of this bullshit. Enough of that freaking bullshit. I hate that you also had to retrieve the lore boxes again. I still don't know what those spikes do. Like, what are they supposed to be? Just random killing machines for the humans to stumble into? Yeah, like, what possible function do those spikes are supposed to serve? Like, what are they supposed to do in this place? That they're just constantly shooting out and attacking people. Alright, so yeah, let's not waste any time this over here. That guy's gonna get cheesed by the demon. Oh well, sucks to be him. He thinks he's safe over across the bridge. Unfortunately for him, that is not the case. God damn, come on. Here you go, our main trick. Yep, just die already. Just give it up already. Kain's better than you. Damn, he just refuses to die. Yeah, so we cannot go over there, so there's really no point or purpose in being there, so let's just activate the switch and get out of here. That does kind of suck. Like, I wonder, is it supposed to be that you're trapped over there, or you're just glitched? Because it seems like oddly weird game design that you will be able to go over there, but you can't get back. Like, how are you supposed to travel back to, you know, the proper path if you can't go over there? Okay, so now that demon is over there. Really? How dare you? Come here, skinny man. That kick does a lot of damage. The hill didn't look like they could use a sandwich in here. I wonder how they will be able to restore themselves if they ever did escape. I guess either magic or else they'd pretty much have to just take DNA from like the remaining 10 or so pure hill in the ruling class, and then just use that to pretty much, I guess, spread it across all the remaining people. Like they have to, you know, like reverse engineer their own DNA, because there is a segment of pure hill in Hyde, and we know that from Dark Prophecy. What would have been Dark Prophecy. We know they have the king, the queen, the warlords. So there are pure Hilden still left. And you also have the seer, who's half Hilden and half vampire. So I guess you'd have to just take DNA from them and then try to do like some gene therapy on the rest of the species, however many there are, which I assume is at least thousands, if not 100,000 or maybe even 1,000,000 of them trapped in that dimension. But that's the only way I can see them restoring themselves, so they're not all skeleton and hideous. Damn. He's just hitting nothing but air. There we go. Just finish off these fools already, Kain. You think Kain's doing just as good as or better than the ancient vampires, or is he still getting away with it just because they're all weakened? Like, how good of a warrior is he actually at this point? Is he at least semi-competent, or is it just that the Hilding are incredibly weak from being starved and malformed in that dimension? Because it could be both. We know Kain's strong, but how strong is he really at this point in time in his youth? Like, is he really that strong, or are his enemies just that weak? You know? Because we know humans are no match for him. We know most vampires are no match for him because they're too young, but The Hilden, in theory, should be far superior to him with them being ancient, but as I've said, they've been malformed and malnourished and just completely deteriorated by that dimension. They're decayed, so how good of a warrior is actually Kain really at this point? Like, is he really that strong, or are his enemies just that weak? I think there's no way to know, right? There's no way to know the answer to that because we've never seen the Hilden in their prime. So we have no idea what they're really capable of, besides maybe, I guess, the Sarafan Lord? Maybe. Possibly. Look at that, they got hover technology. Oh, look at this one shoots beams of energies at us. I think those are fatal to you if they hit you. How nice of them though to leave us a switch here that we can manipulate with our minds. God damn. Oh, okay, here we go. So we pretty much just have to hit each switch and overwhelm the system. Thankfully it's slow, so it doesn't have time to catch us. One more. Apparently in Resident Evil Requiem it's always 3 that you have to manipulate. 3 objects, 3 puzzles, 3 pickups. It's always the rule of 3, but here you can actually do 4 most of the time. God damn, I did not mean to fall that far. So what did that switch even do? Oh, it's still aiming at us. So it's an automated turret system. An energy turret. Yeah, what was even the point of that? Like what did it actually do? It can't hit us on the ladder. This is where we came from. Oh, we never finished doing this one. I think we just did it partially. I thought it was done. There we go. Now we destroyed the system.
Kain, the Hilden city's defenses have been broached. Janos can no longer sense a ward barrier.
It's my doing. I've shut down their foul magics, at least for a time.
Then we are ready to help you. Janos is casting a spell that will bring us to you in moments.
Excellent.
I look forward to thanking you in person for saving Uma's life.
Yes, of course.
About that, Vorador, that won't be happening. Hey, there's our man Janos.
The location of the Hilden Gate.
Where's Uma, Kain? I cannot sense her.
She will not be joining us.
Uma is dead, is she not? Were you too late?
No, she suffered the fate she deserved. She stole the Nexus Stone from me.
So you refused to help her?
I dealt with her as I deal with all traitors. I killed her accordingly.
You did what?
I did as you would have done, Vorador, to any human or vampire who defied your will.
Monster!
She chose her fate. Was she acting as the dutiful lieutenant, following her superior's orders? I care not. What's done is done.
We were wrong ever to trust you.
Do you so wish to return to the grave, old friend? You are in no position to challenge me.
No, we have no time for this discord. I sense that the Hilden Gate is nearby. I can transport us there.
Why are there 2 Voradors?
Time. Tonight, the Sarafan Lord dies. Tomorrow, we shall see.
This round is mine, Dark One.
I must tend to Vorador. Proceed without us, Kain. I can teleport you to a place near the gate, but you will have to close it on your own. Use the Nexus Stone. Cast it into the gate, and the magic of the stone will destroy it utterly.
Cast your spell then, and let us finish this.
These poses are so damn off. Yeah, did you see that? There were two Voradors there. One near the ladder and one near one in the cutscene. I guess that's a placeholder for when you need to move his character model, but damn, it's weird seeing him in two places at once. You know, it's almost like a projection. And those poses, man, they really did not know how to animate the characters properly, did they? These novice developers who were put in charge of this new game without any prior gameplay experience, I imagine, or maybe like very minimal gameplay experience, or game development experience rather, because those poses are wild. They just really did not know how to animate them. Yeah, it's funny, Vorador would have done the same thing to her if she had challenged him back in the Blood Omen days. I guess you know, having her save him from death by ordering Raziel to recover his head, I guess that all that softened him, you know. And then when Kain asked him to create a whole new generation of vampires since he was her father, I guess that kind of softened his whole attitude. Plus the 200 years of struggling against the Seraphim Lord again, you know, that would have reminded him of the old days. So I guess all that got to him. But yeah, he would have dealt with her as a traitor the same way Kain did. There's no lie in that. That's exactly what he would have done before. And what Kain tells him, you're in no position to return to the grave. I'm guessing he's much weakened now than he was before because of all the effort he expended to create a new race of vampires. So I'm guessing he's just very weak at this point. He cannot physically fight Kain and win. At least not without some serious help. You like how Janos didn't care though about the whole Uma thing? Like Janos just had vengeance on his mind. He was just focused on destroying the Seraphim Lord. He did not care one bit that woman died. Because he knows they can always make more vampires, but they gotta stop the Seraphim Lord. Or the Hilden Lord, rather. I think we can manipulate that symbol. I think. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Oh no, we can't. So how do we get inside then? We gotta go around it? I guess. Yeah, he did not care one bit about Vorador's pride and joy. He was focused on more important things. But it's like it's funny for him to call Kain a monster. It's like, whoa, you had humans hanging over in chains over your dining room. Like that's the pot calling the kettle black. Like accusing Kain of being a monster. He had literal people hanging over him in chains like he was in Hellraiser. So it's like they're both monsters in a sense, at least at this point. Kain doesn't get his wisdom from like another 1,000 years or so. Damn, we really gotta jump onto that little platform there, really? I guess, look at that. Tiny ledge. Holy shit. That is death right there. If you hit the wrong angle, it's game over. You just fall in the water and die. I mean, even if you're a human, if you're wearing the wrong layers of armor, if you're too heavy, you're just gonna sink right to the bottom. So even for a human, that would be death. The only ones that might survive it would be the Hilden because they're so rail thin that they just wouldn't sink. They'd be floating on top of the water. But yeah, so a lot of people really don't like this version of Vorador, and you can see why. He's too damn soft. He's too damn soft considering the badass we know him to be from previous games. Even in Soul Reaver 2, when you could see the toll that Mobius's crusade and hunting had taken on him, he still had a very hardened demeanor and very cynical. That's one thing I wish Defiance would have shown. The moment when he did get resurrected, either by Raziel or maybe Kain, and apparently he was supposed to show extreme distrust of Kain because once upon seeing him, he would have realized that Kain has become much older, or at least much more powerful than he ever was. maybe not older, but definitely more powerful. So he would have been very wary of Kain. Okay, so that Hilden killed the guy who was just doing his job, so he's gotta die too. That guy was just doing his job, and the Hilden killed him anyway, just because. So he's gotta pay. Yep, hit him from the back. No mercy, just hit him from the back. Who cares about fighting honorably? Let's just kick his ass. Look at that, that other guy's just standing there. He wants no part of this shit. He's like, I will not fight until it is absolutely critical for me to do so. Other than that, you're on your own, buddy. Yeah, at this point, they don't really care about each other either, right? I know it's a gameplay mechanic, you know, so that you're not instantly fighting two of them, but I don't think at this point they really care about each other, right? All they care about is just getting revenge on the vampires, so however many of them have to die at Kain's hands for that to happen, oh well, that's their luck, I guess. Yeah, they're not really very caring or compassionate, these Hilden. They probably need to appoint the seer as their new leader. That might be the only way they can actually save themselves. If you have her wisdom guiding them, but we don't even know where she is right now in the series. Like, where did she go? On that side, ah, goddamn. On that side, that's called the Lost World. When they were attempting to reconstruct the story for Defiance, the writer assumed that maybe she went back to the bunker that's protected by magic. You know, keeping the other Hilden from being contaminated by the demon dimension. So maybe she went back there. Like, maybe she was like their general of time, basically, or overseer of time. Like, maybe she was one of their scientists, or magicians, or priests, whatever. So she might have gone back there, but we don't really know for sure. Damn, this was actually putting up a fight. Yeah, because she said her fate lied along a different path, but we don't really know where. Like, if she's not even supposed to be in Nosgoth in the first place, like, what fate does she have? She can choose her own, right? I don't think she can see the true enemy of the series yet, so she can't fight them. So what can she do? Like, where does her destiny lie then, if not fighting along Kain's side? Alright, let's save over here, just in case we fall into that water puddle and die, or that stream, whatever. 80%. Okay, so we're almost done. Good, because we're at 37 minutes, so if it takes like an hour or so, that's a pretty good length for the video then. I do wish they would remake this game and actually make it good, or at least remaster it and fix a lot of the crap wrong with it, but I guess it's just too much to ask. Especially Crystal Dynamics being focused on Tomb Raider and losing also, they just lost like a lot of their staff too. Many workers that got dismissed because of the difficulties in developing games, so a remake of this is probably not happening anytime soon. Even if that new 2D Legacy of Kain game is successful, it's still not going to result in a 3D remake of this. I mean, right now they don't even have the resources or the funding to develop Dark Prophecy, which is what they should really be doing. That's the game that they should be really be concentrated on, finishing off that game, because we know, like, yes, they'd have to get back Amy Hennig, and I don't know how that's going to work. They'd have to approach her studio, but we pretty much know the outline of how Dark Prophecy would have gone. And we know the places that would have been in there, the enemies that would have been in there, the locations. So, like, it may not be 100% completely scripted out, but most of the game's scenario pretty much is written out, in a sense. So, like, it's not a huge deal, you know. Like, we know pretty much what has to be done. It's just a matter of getting the actual funding to do it. You know, getting the actual money and time to do so. Oh, that looks janky. I thought for a moment that was gonna kill Kain by enveloping him in the water. Do we just jump over there? What exactly are we doing? I guess we just jump over there. This place has no directions. It could benefit a bit from a map of the Defiance and Soul Reaver 2 variety. How do you get over there? There we go. Perfect. What the hell is this? Alright, there we go. We made it. It's a shame Kain didn't conquer this city for himself and develop it, you know, or have like at least have the vampires analyze stuff and attempt to figure out how it works. You know, use the technology for your benefit. I know it kind of gets destroyed at the end, but they could have salvaged something from it, you know, instead of just letting it to rot. I don't think Kain really saw the wisdom in saving certain resources until much later on when he was much older. That's when he realized that you can't just throw away certain valuable resources like that. You actually have to use people and resources properly in order to maintain your empire. Oh boy, how do we do this? Okay, there we go. I guess we jump over here? I guess. So do we just have him turn off the water now, I guess? I guess. I don't really see where I'm supposed to be going, so I guess we just have him turn off the water. Or is there something shiny over there? I see it now. Oh! Damn, I thought he got stuck in there for a moment. That would have been unfortunate if he glitched out right there. We would have had to reload. And that would have ruined the trophy, so I'm glad he did not get stuck in there. Is there actually a... No, there isn't anything here. I thought I saw a lore box. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just a rock. Yeah, there's nothing here, so it's just... Yeah, I mistook that rock for a lore crate. Like, what are we supposed to do with this, Oh, I guess we just push it over here, I guess. I guess. Alright, my guy, raise the damn water again. I keep confusing the charm and telekinesis icons. Oh, I started watching a streamer play this game, Sleeping Dogs. It's actually pretty interesting. And I hear it's on Steam right now at $3.99, so it might be something you want to pick up. It's very similar to Grand Theft Auto, only you play as an undercover cop. So wait a minute. What are we doing here? Because all this does is just drain the water. And all he does is just turn it back on. So what exactly are we doing here then? Because we have this switch over here. What's the point of that? Yeah, like, how do we get over there? I guess that's the switch we need to approach, but how? How do we make it over there without let's see, I guess we can just jump. But I thought we hit that switch already, so where are we supposed to go? Can't go up there. Okay, so we activated, so that, oh, I see, never mind, I see it. I see what we have to do, it's an elevator. We just have to open it up and go over there, I see it now. I didn't notice it because it was gray, so it wasn't standing out against the background. There we go. We're done. We're all set. Alright, here we go. Oh, look at that huge Hilda mural. Look at that right there. Reminds you of Eileen's head in Silent Hill 4. That's a huge mural right there.
We are destined to win this battle. So is it known to us all. Who of us knew that one of his cursed race would come this far? This disturbs me. We need only be vigilant, cousin, to prevail. He cannot kill us all.
Sure we can. We definitely can. You haven't met Kain before. He can definitely kill you all. With very little effort. Or we could just sneak by them. And not even worry about it. You know what? I'll let you two live just because. Just because it's not like we're actually gonna get. Oh wait, are we near the final confrontation? Never mind then. I can't let you live because you have the blood we need to fight the Seraphim Lord. So we actually can't let them live. We need that blood. Where'd the other guy go? Did he just run? We do have a little bit of blood over there from the humans, but that's not gonna be enough. That would have done a lot of damage. Oh no, he's over there. Let's see how much blood we get from the humans. Maybe we can spare one single dude. That's that. Just one single guy might be the only one left to witness the massacre. Yep, it closed behind us. Oh boy, probably should have drunk that guy. It's fine though, we got these two humans right here. Whatever, we're almost full. Almost. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's where old glowing green head is at, the Sarafan Lord, the Hilden Lord, whatever. All right, Kain, let's go get our prize back, our prize sword, with the soul of our right hand man, our adopted son, right inside it. So let's get our sword and our son back at the same time. Oh, we still have one more section. I do find the mirrors pretty lovely, but at the same time I wish they had more than 6 of them, because you can see they're pretty much repeating the same ones over and over again. It's like they have what, like 6 or 8 pretty much, and they're repeating them all across the room, so it's I wish they'd have more of them, even though they do look pretty neat.
At last, I had hunted my prey to his very lair.
I wonder if they refill your blood during the cutscene. Oh, look at this battlefield. Look at this
Hilden
mess.
Gate was before me, from which the Hilden general, in his guise of the Sarafan Lord, planned to bring forth his alien armies and destroy us all. Turn, vile demon. Your reckoning day has come.
Kain.
It's still Godzilla.
Did you think you could defeat me? All your plans are revealed, together with your true nature. Turn and enter the gate you have fashioned and join your kind before I obliterate it. Or stay, and be destroyed upon its rubble.
I confess I did not expect to find you here, at the heart of my endeavor. You are indeed a more capable adversary than I had thought possible.
You can ponder that thought when you have made your choice. Return to exile, or death.
Do you think the game is over? Do you think it will end with me? Have you not wondered why so many of your trusted henchmen, time and again, bend their knees before me, accept me as their lord, and join their cause to mine?
Cowards and traitors deserve no second thoughts, only their complete annihilation.
Did it not occur to you that perhaps my cause, and not yours, is the cause of right, of justice? That your ambition to rule this world is but the youthful craving of a petty noble who has gained too much power, but never enough.
Silence, demon. Your need to corrupt is only too apparent. But every traitor that you have turned to your will from my side, even Uma, your latest spy, is dead.
Uma? I have no spy called Uma.
You...
Damn. So he killed her for nothing, pretty much, is what the Sarafan Lord is saying. Yeah, that's some nice dubbing there. It's a grade A Japanese quality dubbing from the 60s right there.
Why don't you just die?
Let's save so that we don't have to start over again from our last save, because that'll be hell if we have to go back and do all that all over again. So you cannot harm him yet, because we don't have the Soul Reaver. So all you can do is kind of just dodge his attacks. It's over there. God damn. Damn, he just toppled over. Oh yeah, I forgot you have to hit him with the telekinesis. There you go.
Damn stone.
God damn. He's quick when he reloads his sword blast.
Damn stone. That stone will protect you from the vortex. Damn stone. Damn stone.
There you go. Threw him into the abyss. If only for a few seconds. That was so ghetto.
Do you still believe you can prevail? While you possess the Nexus Stone, my sword cannot slay you. But while you bear the stone to shield your life, you cannot use it to destroy the gate. Stalemate, Kain. And mine is the waiting game. As long as I have not lost, in time, I am sure to win.
But I have not yet made my choice.
No, no, no! As long as I wield Reaver, I am immortal!
We might have to do this battle over again because we don't have a lot of blood left.
I will rend your soul!
Yeah, the Dark Entity definitely deserved a better battle than this.
I cherish the irony of killing you with your own sword, Kain. I will rend your soul.
So Kain should not be able to block those Reaver attacks with the with just his gauntlets. Because the Soul Reaver can cut through anything, so that should not be able to be possible unless maybe maybe it's just god damn. Unless maybe it's made of special vampire like skill, I guess. Special vampire equipment that kind of just it kind of masks the blast of the Soul Reaver, like it blocks him. Because without the stone protecting him, like the sword should cut right through him and destroy him. So I guess those gauntlets are special vampire gauntlets made that just block the energy of the sword.
Do you still believe you can prevail? While you possess the Nexus Stone, my sword cannot slay you. But while you bear the stone to shield your life, you cannot use it to destroy the gate. Stalemate, Kain. And mine is the waiting game. As long as I have not lost, in time, I am sure to win.
But I have not yet made my choice.
No, no, no! I will rend your soul!
There we go. Yeah, so your regular attacks cannot harm him. You can't harm him with the claw strikes or anything like that. You have to basically burn him.
I will rend your soul.
I don't think even Berserk actually works. We're gonna try it out, but I don't think Berserk actually works. I think you have to just use Immolate.
I have mastered the evil. I am your doom.
One thing that always bothered me is that the Hilden emanate green energy, but the demon possessing Mortanius had red eyes and red energy, so is that just strictly that one manifestation, or is it that some of them have green energy, some of them have red? Or is it he was just imitating like a demon body, so maybe that's why it turned red, his eyes. Yeah, so Berserk does not work. It has to be Immolate, pretty much. You have no choice. That's the only thing that can harm him. And you pretty much just have to block.
I cherish the irony of killing with your own sword, Kain.
Yeah, that's the only spell that works against him. Immolate. Everything else is useless.
I have mastered the Reaver. I am your
I do wish Kain had more than just one combo. It would make battles like this much more exciting if you had more skill than just the one combo. That's the only one you can do.
I cherish the irony of killing with your own sword, Kain. Long will I wield the Reaver. I am immortal.
There we go. Got him to halfway.
You?
Yes, your prisoner, from whose blood you built your evil plans.
What could be more righteous than to take our revenge and your freedom from the same source? Tortured eons of suffering are too good for you, vampire.
But not for you, Hilden, who has dared to set a corrupting foot upon this world after your banishment. Return to the demon dimension in which you belong.
And by what right, cursed one, did you send my kind to that place of evil?
By what right did you lay on us the curse that drove us from the light and made us predators of humankind?
It was justice for our banishment from the world. You see what it has made of our once fair race.
I see you have taken your true form at last.
Watch this. This is the cheesiest slow motion in video game history.
Then go and see what it makes of you.
Kain, the sword!
Come on, Janos.
I sentence you to the hell of your own making. A prisoner for all time.
No! Kain!
And now, it is your turn.
I heard people say, why didn't you just fly up? You know, but I think he was a bit stunned from the attacks. That's why he was a bit disoriented and he couldn't fly up and just escape using his wings. Although still, it is like, come on, Janos, at least try to use your wings, man.
Why don't you just die?
Yeah, we got just a tiny bit of blood to deal with him. And we have the Soul Reaver, but it pretty much functions like a normal sword. You don't get any extra power from it or anything. It just doesn't break, so... yeah, not all that great. You can't really use any of its advanced power here. It's just strictly a fancy looking sword. Damn, look at that. Beat us in one blow, just threw us back into the dimension. Oh man, we gotta start the...
Won't protect you from the
that does suck though. We gotta start the whole battle over again. Yeah, like I said in the previous video, unskippable cutscenes were all the rage at this period in gaming history. Everyone was doing unskippable cutscenes. God damn, come on! That's not what we're supposed to do. Why are we trying to charm him?
Do you still believe you can prevail? While you possess the Nexus Stone, my sword cannot slay you. But while you bear the stone to shield your life, you cannot use it to destroy the gate. Stalemate, Kain. And mine is the waiting game. As long as I have not lost, in time, I am sure to win.
But I have not yet made my choice.
No, no, no! I cherish the irony of killing with your own sword, King. I will rend your soul. I have mastered the Reaver. I am yours. Kneel before my might. As long as I wield the Reaver, I am immortal.
Come on. Ah.
protect you from more.
Come on, this is bullshit. Yeah, everybody thought in the early 2000s that unskippable cutscenes were the way. Crash to Insanity did that thing, and it was fucking awful. Especially when you got to the harder section and you couldn't skip a 15-minute long cutscene. You had to see it over and over again. That was stupid.
But while you bear the stone to shield your life, you cannot use it to destroy the gate. Stalemate, Kain. And mine is the waiting game. As long as I have not lost.
You can tell that's the mark of a rookie development team.
But I have not yet made my choice.
When they don't know that unskippable cutscenes are a bad thing.
No, no, no!
Especially during a boss fight. That's the one thing that should never have unskippable cutscenes, a boss fight. Because who wants to listen to the same cutscene 13 times over? It makes no sense.
I have mastered the Reaver. I am yours. I cherish iron that with your own sword.
Yeah, so you pretty much have to hit him with the immolate attack in mid attack when he's still doing his combo. You actually can't wait.
Yes, your prisoner, from whose blood you built your evil plans.
What could be more righteous than to take our revenge and your freedom from the same source? Tortured eons of suffering are too good for you, vampire.
But not for you, Hilden, who has dared to set a corrupting foot upon this world after your banishment. Return to the demon dimension in which you belong.
And by what right, cursed one, did you send my kind to that place of evil?
By what right did you lay on us the curse that drove us from the light and made us predators of humankind?
It was justice for our banishment from the world. You see what it has made of our once fair race.
I see you have taken your true form at last.
Yep, I said it before, I said it again. Check it out. The lamest slow motion in video game history. Right there.
Kain, the sword!
It's like two grade school bullies fighting each other.
You to the hell of your own making. A prisoner. For all time.
No! Kain!
Come on, Janos, use your wings.
It is your turn.
You're not right in the portal yet. He could have tried to ride the draft with his wings. Unless the glyph magic stopped him. Alright, hopefully we can kill him now. We don't have to see that cutscene again. Let's just hope he doesn't take any damage. Kain. Of course they leave just this one little platform to fight him on. Alright, let's go.
Kneel before my might.
Damn, that no longer works. He upgraded. God damn, come on. Can't see with the fucking camera. Ugh. Maybe Berserk will work on him this time. Nope. We're gonna lose because we have too little health. We're gonna get hit eventually. It takes so... Really? Ah.
You are outmatched.
What a stupid boss fight, right? What a absolutely stupid boss fight. You have to replay all the cutscenes. They don't let you start from the middle. You have to start from the very beginning again. You have to replay all the sections again. God damn it, come on. Ah, what an absolutely wretched boss fight, right? This one sucks. Like much of this game. It's just so stupid. Like, it shouldn't be anything that has to be taught to you. It should be simple, basic common sense as a game developer. If you have a boss fight that's going to take various phases like 3, you cannot have unskippable cutscenes. You just can't. And you have to have a checkpoint system. It's just basic common sense. I know these for newbie developers, but still, come on, man. Like, you never played a video game in your life before? It's basic common sense. You cannot have unskippable cutscenes. I don't know why the hell the Blood Omen 2 team didn't realize that. It's just... It's like freaking idiots. It's like they never designed any type of game before ever, not even a small game. Which is probably true, but still, come on, man. You know you can't do unskippable cutscenes of this length in a boss fight like this. It's just basic common sense. It's stupid. It's just so stupid that they didn't even realize that. Especially when the combat system makes the boss fights take so damn long. So he always does 5 attacks, and I think he does 2 now. No, he does 5. Okay. I thought maybe he would do the 2-hit combo instead. Sometimes he switches it up. So there he did the 2-hit combo. Now we just gotta wait for him to do the other one. Okay, so I think it's actually better to block the entirety of the combo, because otherwise you might, if you don't block the whole combo, he might get you with a surprise attack. When you're trying to activate the immolate, he can actually hit you even during that animation. So it's better to just block the whole combo if you can. See, or stuff like that happens. Ah, a fucking boss fight, right? God damn it. Ah, come on. Fucking game. It doesn't want to end. It just doesn't want to end. Now we have to watch the same stupid ass cutscene all over again. Come on.
You?
Yes, your prisoner,
Ah,
from whose blood you built your
Blah,
evil
blah,
plans.
blah.
What could be more righteous
Just two
than to
immature
take our
punks
revenge
shouting at each
and
other.
your freedom from the
One's a
same
religious
source?
fanatic, the other's
Tortured
just a
eons
deluded
of
nutcase at this
suffering
point.
are too good for you, vampire.
He's no general, he's just a man.
But not for you, Hilden, who has dared to set a corrupting foot upon this world
Ah.
after your banishment. Return.
That's
to
why I
the
didn't want to
demon
play this game all over
dimension
again.
in
Like I
which you
said, I'm
belong.
hoping we get the final trophies here. I do not want to replay this shit again for a long time.
By what
Unless
right
they
did
just
you
straight up
lay on
remake it or
us the
remaster it and fix
curse
everything
that
that's wrong
drove
with
us
it. I do
from
not
the
want to play
light
this game
and
again,
made
so...
us predators of humankind.
It was justice for our banishment from the world. You see what it has made of our once fair race.
I see you have taken your true form at last.
Look at this bullshit, come on.
And see what it makes of you.
Kain, the sword!
Janos should just stay there and tended to Vord, or he should have never interfered in this. Kain was doing just fine without him. He should have just stayed and tended to Vord, or would have avoided the whole problem.
For all time.
No! Kain!
Because now in Dark Prophecy, Kain would have had to go into the demon realm and hunt down his ass in order to stop him from becoming a problem,
Now, it is your
or from
turn.
causing a much bigger problem. So he should have just left it alone. He should have just stayed and tended to Vordor and just hit this guy with like an energy attack, and then just gotten the hell out of there. No need to fight him hand to hand. That's stupid, especially if you're not a warrior in the first place. Like, maybe Janos was once upon a time, thousands of years ago, but now he's more of a priest and guardian than anything, so that was foolish of him to attack that guy. With no weapon or anything, or armor, or nothing like that. It's just, what are you thinking, man? But then again, the team that wrote Blood Omen 2 was not thinking, so it doesn't really, Come on! I do not want to replay this fucking fight all over again, come on. I'm gonna see if we can hit him with a berserk from the side. There we go. Ooh, that did a ton of damage. We only gotta do one more on him and he's dead. Let's go. Kain, get rid of this fool once and for all. Frickin' dumbass fraud. There we go, got him. Hell yeah, he's finished. He's vanquished. This guy made us think he was an actual demon.
Won the battle, but the war
living end.
between your kind and mine will never end. Our banishment in the demon dimension also ensures our immortality. One day, we shall return.
Should your kind reach that place of banishment again, I will be waiting.
You will not live that long.
I have lived long enough to dispose of you.
Yeah, you tell him, Kain. Now he's inside Raziel's stomach. For the time being. Or for the next couple thousands of years. Look at that pier, and that walkway.
What was it she said to me in that fatal moment when she took from me the Nexus Stone? How would my rule differ from that of the Sarafan Lord? If you had lived, Uma, you would have learned the difference. You should have trusted me. The war was over, and yet there was another battle to be fought. The cruel masters of Nosgoth, the Sarafan, now leaderless, still had to be put down. There were cities to be rebuilt, and order to be restored, and a new rule, my rule, would then begin. To the victor go the spoils. At last, Nosgoth would be mine.
It's funny how it says there were cities to rebuild. The only one who ends up destroying the cities is him. There were no cities to rebuild. The Sarafan probably kept them in order, just to keep the humans under control, just to have them there. So yeah, basically the Hilden are connected to the dimensions. So because of the pillars, even though they were there, once the connection got severed, they all died. So they're kind of stuck there unless they can break, I guess, the binding completely. This song is banging. Listen to it. This is one of my favorite songs from the entire series. So that's some artwork of areas that they were considering putting in the game, but they didn't actually do it, or else they were early versions. Like the Uma's looking pretty nice there. Yeah, like the Sarafan keep on the perched on the cliff. So Brett Robbins helped write this crap, huh? Ooh, that looks nice. Carol Wolf actually worked on Defiance too, so I guess she's somewhat talented, but that other guy probably just sucked. There's a seer, an early artwork. Earl Boeing. I actually don't like that drawing for her because she has no arms. It makes no sense that she has an insect body like that when how would she even put on clothes with no fingers? That makes no sense whatsoever. Let me check if Earl Boeing is who I think he is. He voiced the Sarafan Lord. Let's see who he is. Is that the guy from Terminator and Terminator 2? The Eternal Prison. Oh, look at that demon right there. Skeletal, look at that. Is that supposed to be the beast? Janos? Oh, look at that one. That's a xenomorph right there. That's an early version of the demon we saw. I've heard this one referred to as Kain visits Dagobah, the swamp. Yeah, that looked like an early version of the demons we saw, the purple ones. Yeah, there you go. It is the psychiatrist from or psychologist from Terminator, Earl Boeing. Let's make sure. Blood Omen 2. Let's just make sure. Yeah. Yeah, it is Earl Boeing. It is the psychologist from Terminator and Terminator 2. Remember in Terminator 1, he was the one interrogating Kyle and thinking he was insane, and then in 2, he had a cameo. Well, not a cameo, he had a small role at the prison. And then he had a cameo in Terminator 3 also, where he got PTSD from flashback from seeing Arnold again, the Terminator, wielding the Gatling gun and lifting up the the coffin over his shoulder, and he just turned and ran. It is that guy. Oh, look at that montage of Look at that montage of the action in the game. So according to Google's AI, he gave the character a distinct accent, often recognized by fans for his theatrical villainous tone. He worked along other notable voice actors, including Simon Templeman. Yeah, he was Dr. Silverman in the Terminator 1 and 2 films. Oh, and he was Captain LeChuck in the Monkey Island series. I did not even know that he did voice roles in Monkey Island. Sadly, he passed away in 2023, July. That's actually pretty recently. I thought he had passed away before that. Died 81, so he lived quite a long time and gave a lot of voice acting roles. So that was nice to see the artwork of Blood Omen 2, the artwork that didn't quite make it into the... Some of it made it into the game, like the character designs and stuff like that, but... You know, outside of like the Seraphim Knights and the banners and Uma's character design, like you could see some of the artwork for the environments, like the swamp and the keep perched on the cliff. That did not make it into the game, which is kind of a shame because those areas actually look pretty interesting. That Snowy Mountain Village did not make it there. That passageway in the internal prison, some of them did not make it there either. They didn't make it into the game. That Xenomorph demon definitely did not make it into there. Along with that H.R. Giger looking environment with all green, you know, where it's all like green goo and like the living walls, and the walls have those like those plants with teeth, all that stuff. None of that made it into the game, which is a shame because it could have made for a very freaky chapter if Kain descended into like where the device was, and it was just full of all that organic biomechanical horror stuff. That would have made it a much more memorable chapter than it is. It's okay as it is right now, but that definitely would have made it better. So yeah, that's Blood Omen 2. We got a Soul Reaver 2 trailer, and we got 2 Blood Omen 2 trailers. We should probably watch them, but they're probably like 2 minutes long each, so I don't know if it's even worth it, but they're probably up on YouTube at any rate. But yeah, what do I think? Yeah, it's okay. Like, it's not the worst game I've ever played, but it's definitely by far the worst LOK game I've ever played. The worst by far Legacy of Kain entry they've ever made. Although that 2D one could beat it if it's not designed properly. I guess we'll know in a couple of days. So because it comes out on the 31st, we're on the 27th, so I guess we'll know in 4 days whether it's good or not. But as of the moment, as of current standing right now, this is the worst Legacy of Kain game ever made. It borders on terrible at some parts of it. There are some really good parts. Like I said, the Eternal Prison is probably my favorite chapter in the entire game. It's very unique among other series environments in gaming. Has a very odd, distinct vibe to it. Like, very unique and creepy and unsettling atmosphere. Other than that, too many of the chapters are just boring. Like the environments are nondescript. You know, they don't really have any detailed, any working details to them. They're vast. Look at that sky passing behind it. That's a pretty cool effect. But yeah, they're vast, but they're not detailed. There's nothing else to do in it but just fight and, you know, just fight enemies and collect lore boxes and occasionally solve a distinct puzzle or two, which is made all the more difficult because Kain cannot move a box left or right. He can only move it up or down. Stupidly, because Raziel could just do it with his bare hands. Kain can only do it using telekinesis and just move it to the side. Even though he could move objects to in any direction in Blood Omen 1. That makes no sense. So yeah, the puzzle solving is kind of tedious and mediocre. Combat, they had a nice basic level system, but it really needed to be enhanced with a lot more moves, a lot more weapons that were distinct from each other. You know, the stealth kills are pretty cool, but they wear on you after a while. They just they're mainly more useful than anything, but they lose the flashiness after the first few times you use them. Especially because so many of them are just similar. They're all the same, depending on what weapon you pick up. There's not a lot of difference between the stealth kills and most of the weapons, unless you get ones like the priest staffs that you have those bludgeoning objects that they have in the bishop chapter when he's pursuing the bishop through that church area and the graveyard. Those staffs are pretty unique, but other than that, the double-bladed staff is probably the best of them. You know, it reminds you of Darth Maul. Obviously, with his double-bladed lightsaber, that's probably the best and the coolest one in the game. The axe is pretty useful, both the big and the small one, but other than that, nothing to really write home about. Especially with the swords. The swords are pretty much like nondescript from each other, except for like the big crescent ones the Seraphan Knights carry. Those are kind of wicked looking, but they're just okay overall. Like, nothing too much better from the regular swords. Voice acting is still pretty great, with a couple of exceptions, which is par for the course for Legacy of Kain. They always have great voice acting. Even the 2D one that's coming out in a few days, from what little we've seen of it, even that will have great voice acting. So that's always a series plus. Music, wherever there is music, because there's very little bit of it in the stages, but the music is still pretty damn good. Especially that ending battle theme for Kain that plays over the end credits. I'm sad they took that out of Defiance and replaced it with something else, because even though the song technically fits the game theme more, the one they chose, it actually just doesn't work as well for that particular boss fight as it did once. So that was a downgrade. You know, on that game, that's a huge downer, but we'll cover that when we get to Defiance in a couple days, the remaster. Story's all over the place. It starts out kind of boring. Kain trying to reclaim his would-be kingdom, you know, trying to reclaim his power again so he can usurp the throne of Nosgoth from the Seraphan Lord, and having to kill these traitors, vampires. It just seems very pedestrian compared to what we usually get with elaborate conspiracies and time travel and all that stuff and demons. It just seems very straightforward, very par for the course for an average video game story and average video game writing. But they make the best of it. The voice actors, for a little they can, you know, they elevate it a lot more beyond its standing than it ordinarily should. If it had been a lesser cast, some people would say the story just sucks, or half of it sucks. But the voice actors do what they can to elevate it. I did not like what they did with Vordor. I thought it was a disgrace. Like I said, I was more forgiving the first time I played this game, because I was a younger person. I didn't know any better. I wasn't a child, but I wasn't a fully grown teenager yet. So I was kind of ignorant on, you know, how good game design should work. So I didn't know any better. And then once I played it a second time and a third, I realized what a huge load of crap a lot of this game is. Mainly because they were just inexperienced, and it's obvious they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And since they couldn't communicate with the Soul Reaper 2 team or ask them for any help in that regard, they couldn't get help with the environments, the engine, the character models, the voice acting. Even though that turned out great, they couldn't get help there for the story or consistency. It's just all over the place. So overall, as a game, it's probably, I'd say at most is a 6. It's probably more like a 5. It's not a 4.5 because the game does work. You know, it does work, and it does have some interesting parts like the Eternal Prison. Even the device is kind of interesting, going down into the Hilden Catacombs. That's kind of cool in its own right, and seeing them for the first time here. Even if they are wheezing old men. That was the other thing too. Like, I'm disappointed that they kind of disgraced the Hilden with this presentation, because it just does not befit how cool of a villain they are. They are very ominous. They're very intimidating. They're supposed to be like the brilliant masterminds behind the series, and yet they just come across as kind of pathetic in this game. You know, just wheezing old men that, you know, are obviously malnourished. They're alien-like, and it's just Kain even called them aliens, even though he knows they're from Nosgoth. So they're just a very odd and weird enemy. Not at all the frightening sentinels they should be. They should have been terrifying, and they just look kind of pitiful. They come across kind of pathetic. So yeah, a lot of stuff wrong with this game. A couple things right. It could benefit massively from a remake, but we know that's never gonna come. That's never gonna happen. So, final verdict for Blood Omen 2, like I said, it's at most a 6 out of 10. It's probably a 5.5 or even a 5. I wouldn't go lower than that just because the game does work. It does function. It does have some nice parts to it. And like I said, the voice acting and the story is almost always good in Legacy of Kain games. This is probably the weakest story and even the weakest voice acting. But even then, like, the weakest voice acting is still miles above pretty much almost any other game. It's still pretty damn good because these are Shakespeare thespians and actors with a lot of TV experience and theater experience and even a couple movies between them. So, like I said, Earl Boeing was in Terminator films 1 and 2 and 3. So, he's definitely an old pro from the series. He's got a lot of filmmaking experience and a lot of voice acting experience too, which I did not know about. He did a lot of cartoons for various networks like WB and Fox. So, yeah, these are very qualified classic theater actors for the most part, and actors with some experience in television, so they do a pretty damn good job. So yeah, I wouldn't go lower than a 5, but it is definitely not higher than a 6. I'd say at most it's a 6 or 5.5. 5.5 feels right for the game. Either way, I would recommend you play it just once so you can see the story, like, and enjoy the voice acting and the music soundtrack. And like I said, play the Eternal Prison chapter. That's the best part of the game by far. If you don't want to play it, like I said, just watch someone else play it, like I just did not just now. Just watch a playthrough of it, but at least check it out in some form or capacity, so you can then compare it to Defiance and realize how much more of a superior job that team did with their game. It's really apples to oranges. It's really much more elevated in Defiance as a Legacy of Kain experience than it is here. That team did wonders compared to this one. So yeah, final verdict 6 out of 10, or maybe more fittingly a 5.5 out of 10. Not the best, not the worst. Not the best game, not the worst game I've ever played. It's strictly in the middle and leaning heavily towards the lower end of the scale. It's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And it's not good. It's just plain average in most respects. It's just plain average, and average in a bad way, not average in a good way. There is some fun to be had, but overall it is probably a letdown and probably the weakest Legacy of Kain entry so far. We'll see how that changes with the 2D, but I'm hopeful for that because those Metroidvania games can actually be fun. So I'm hoping that'll be fun too. But yeah, that's it for now. We finished the game. We're probably never gonna play it again. Except for like the first two. I'll just do the first 2 chapters because we did not get the trophy for it. We did not get the platinum trophy or the trophy for completing it. I guess because we used the Soul Reaver. I had read that it didn't affect your ranking, that you could still use it and get the trophy, but I guess not. I guess that only applies to the cheat code that you entered to give Kain his iron armor and his Soul Reaver blade. It doesn't have any magical powers. It's just a plain old blade, but it doesn't break. That's the one useful aspect of it. It does not break. Unfortunately, that means you're stuck with it for the whole game, so you can only have 2 stealth kills. That's it. The decapitating one and the one in the stomach, that's all you get. Where he slashes the stomach, that's all you're gonna get from the Reaver. So yeah, I'm gonna replay those 2 chapters again and just do those trophies on my own. But other than that, we'll probably never play this again, or at least not for like another 5 years, unless they remaster it or they remake it. Those are the only 2 exceptions. But starting next week, we will play Defiance and get into that much more masterful game than this is, especially story-wise. That game has some very heavy story beats. So we will get to that probably Sunday or Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of the playthrough, because this game kind of sucks, but it does have its good point. Like I said, the acting is still stellar, and the story goes to a couple interesting places here and there sometimes. It's not great, but it's not completely terrible either. It's just overall pretty average, but the voice acting still rocks. So I hope you enjoyed at least some of it. And like I said, I will see you again next time on probably first on Resident Evil Requiem, and then we'll start playing Defiance because I actually really like that game. So see you later, everyone. Take care.